I'm feeling really, really, really accomplished right now.
Boom, wait a minute, just like that. Boom, 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 just like that. A-Dubb Productions, just like that. Like, comment, subscribe, just like that. Boom, wait a minute, just like that. A-Dubb, you ready? Wait a minute.
What's up, guys? Alan Wade back here with another video, guys, and I'm excited right now because this shirt right here that I have on, I know it's kind of high in the waist, kind of like a half top or whatever you guys call it, whatever you women call it, but yeah, it's I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna work on that. I'm gonna make these ones a little longer. So yeah, I finally made my first shirt, and this is wearable aside from the fact this part is too short, but I wanted to just put it on camera so you guys can see where I started, and as things progress you'll see where I'm going. But so I cut out another pattern right here. This is it. This is gonna be the back, and the front is right here, and I made this one a little longer so it can fall a little further down where I want it to fall, where I feel comfortable wearing the shirt outside, right? And I got some neck bands over here, right, as well as neck label, neck tags, and everything like that. So and I have the sleeves around here somewhere. The sleeves around here somewhere. Yeah, and I got the sleeves too. The sleeves are also in this material. So I'm really, really excited. So I'm going to show you guys briefly how I cut this, and I just use my pattern. This right here is the back. The back of the neckline is a little bit taller than the front, which is right here. See, the front neckline is a little bit lower. Back neckline a little bit higher. And this is my pattern. I've downloaded it from I forgot the website's name, but you guys can get patterns from Etsy and stuff like that. And this is the pattern for the sleeves. Shout out to Haley, by the way. Shout out to Haley from Shirley Christine Sewing. Shirley Christine on the main line. Shout out to Haley. That's who kind of like reinforced the things that I was trying to do, and helped me, like guided me in the right direction. Really, really good instructor. If you don't know how to sew, then and you're out here, you know, asked to take some guidance, some courses from Haley on the main line. She's dope. But anyway, we're gonna take my Janome HD5000, and we're going to start pinning this up and sewing this together. We're gonna start at the sleeves, at the shoulders, and we're gonna work our way and try to get this thing together and see how it goes. So right now I'm looking at my neckband fabric, and I just noticed that I cut it in the wrong direction. It's going this way. The neckband's supposed to be like half of this, but I'm supposed to cut it this way because neckbands, the lines, the fabric normally stretches this way. So in this piece right here, I put my piece of material that I have left in the correct orientation, and with my template, it's kind of too short, so I cut a bunch of pieces from this, which is too short, and I'm just gonna have to work with what I got and sew some of these together. Yeah, I'll just sew some of them together, jerry rig it together. These are my two sleeves that I cut already from the fabric, from the material. I think I'm gonna go ahead and make the sleeves black though. So I'll probably save these sleeves for another project. So, yeah, because I think I want the sleeves black and just the body part with the material. That's gonna be a little bit more. I think that's a little. I don't want my stuff to be too feminine. So you know, I think that's gonna, you know, gotta keep it masculine. But I love this pattern right here. So yeah, like I said, I think I'm gonna make the sleeves black. So here's the front part of the pattern. And what I did was I took my fabric and I folded it in half so that when I open it up, I have the whole entire front. You know what I mean? I cut it and I folded the fabric in half, and I cut it on the line so that when I open it up, I'll have both sides instead of cutting half and cutting another half and cutting another half and folding and sewing it all together. So that saves time. I did that to the front as well as the back. Had the back folded in half also. So this the back, as you guys can see, the neckline is a lot higher, significantly higher than the one on the front. All right, so we're gonna make a more intricate, detailed sewing video later on, but for right now I just want to show you guys where I'm at, and so you guys can see the growth. So now I'm gonna go ahead and recut the sleeves, because yeah, like I said, I want the sleeves to be black. The back is gonna be black, the sleeves are gonna be black, and the front is gonna be that print right there. So let me cut those, and then we're gonna start pinning. I'm gonna cut it in a way so I can just cut one time and have the right and the left sleeve, because the right and the left is pretty much the same measurement. So what I'm doing is I'm folding it on top of each other. That way I can like cut on top and have the right and the left. But you want to cut in a way that you kind of save in as much material as you can, waste not, want not kind of situation, you know. Right now I laid down my fabric in a way like one side on top of each other. I folded it in half again, one side on top of each other, and that way when I make sure it's super flat, there's no loops in it or anything like that. Now when I go to cut my my template right here, my what do you call this, my pattern, I can cut once and then I have both sides. Alright, so I'm not going to quite butt it up against the edge, but I'm just going to get it close to the edge, and then I'm going to start cutting. Alright, I'm going to cut this side first. Alright, just going to come up here, and the best way to do it, the fastest way that I've found, is with a cutting wheel. This is dope right here. It's really saves time, right? And it's really easy to do, manipulate. And what I'm also finding is that fabric is kind of forgiving, so it doesn't have to be like super perfect, but you want to try to get it as accurate as possible. But you can cut a little bit of distance away from the template is not all the way bad, right? So yeah, but you want to try to get it as precise as possible. Obviously, you always want to get it as precise as possible, but like I said, you can manipulate fabric, so that's okay too. Alright, so boom, boom, and I got my sleeves. And I don't really need to cut this part right here. I can leave it like that, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll probably just leave it like that for right now. And like I said, when I finish the seams, then I can fix that. Just give it this part right here just gives it a little more length on the sleeves, so that's okay. So now I got my right and my left sleeve. All right, put this away and let's start pinning this stuff up. Woo! Yeah, let's go. First, we're gonna do the we're gonna pin the front shoulder to the back shoulder. All right, and put my stuff and situate my stuff in a way that I can find it. All right, so here's the back, which is black. All right. Alright, let me find the neck. That's the back. Right? And you want to look at your fabric and see which side you want to, which side is going to be the inside, which side is going to be outside. In this case, both of the sides look the same. So I'm going to pin the inside, and I think I want this side looks a little bit more dull to me. So this is going to be the inside. So I'm pinning. Actually, I'm gonna pin my insides together. I'm gonna let my insides, my outside, the side that I want to see, that I want to show. Yeah, the side that I want to show is gonna be the inside. So I want them to face each other. All right. So let me show you what I mean, because this only has one side that has a print on it. So you'll see what I mean better like this. So this is the side that's gonna show. So I'm gonna pin these sides together. All right, pin these two shoulders together, and then pin these two shoulders together, and then we can start sewing them together with a zigzag stitch. All right, with a zigzag stitch, because these fabrics has a lot of stretch in it, so you want to sew a zigzag stitch so it can maintain its stretchiness. Or if you're using a serger already has like a zigzag stitch in it, does that zigzag stitch effect. But for the sake of practicing sewing, we're going to stay away from our serger. We have a serger over there, but we're going to stay away from it for the sake of just practicing and getting respecting the craft and learning the basics first. I want to learn the basics. I want to be able to sew really well on the sewing machine before I start cutting corners and hitting it off with the serger, because the serger makes things a whole lot easier. So you can't appreciate the serger fully unless you go through the struggle and the pain and the aggravation of the sewing machine. And I think that like being able to sew good is just gonna make me that much better when I decide to just jump on the serger. So sorry, Juki, you're gonna sit right there for a little while, for a couple months, while I get this down packed. I'm just lining up the corners, even though I'm gonna end up doing this again. I got my pins right here. Got my pins, 2 sets of pins. Doesn't really matter. I'm gonna just use these, the new ones. So I'm gonna start pinning the sleeves together. Yeah, I'm gonna start pinning the shoulders together, one side at a time. And when I sew, for me, I used to pin like this, sideways. But as you're sewing, removing, because the sewing machine is gonna be coming this way, right? Or this way, whichever way you choose to sew. And for me, when I'm going across, it's better for me to pull out the pins this way. So I'm just going to pin it in a way that I'm comfortable. So I'm going to go like this. It makes sense to me like to do it like that. Right? It makes sense to me to do it like that. I just like it like that better. Alright, so I'm going to pin that edge. And I'm going to pin this edge. And you can pin it any way you want to, really. But I'm finding that this technique works better for me, pinning on the sides first, so that way this edge is even with this edge, right? And then I'm gonna go in the middle, one pin right here, right? And then I'm gonna, you know, just to keep it steady, unnecessary, because I'm new, I'm gonna OD, and I'm gonna pin these edges too. Pin these edges too right here. Comment down below, let me know if my pin game sucks. Let me know if my pin game makes sense. Alright, so now we got both sides pinned. Now we got both sides pinned. You're ready to sew. Lay it down flat. Right, you can see everything. You want it to lay down. You want the material to still lay down flat, so that when you start sewing, you're sewing down. You know what I mean? Alright, so I know I got a couple seamstresses on the channel. Let me know if I'm doing this right. Give me some pointers. Don't hesitate to give me some pointers. I appreciate it. Take all criticism constructive. Alright, so I got both sides pinned down. I think we looking pretty good over here. So I'm nervous about this material because the feed dogs can grab it and ruin it. But I mean, I got a few test pieces, so maybe I'll test it out first before I start sewing on the actual shirt. Alright, y'all, so my first step is to sew these short neckbands together because yeah, it was too short, as you guys can remember. So there is a wrong side and a right side for the neckband. So I'm going to put the right sides together. And I'm not going to pin this because it's kind of short. So I don't need to pin it. And I'm just going to sew these ends together right here. Alright. It doesn't matter as far as the seam allowance and all that stuff with this. I'm just sewing these pieces together. So that really doesn't matter. But I am going to still try to maintain good practice and sew neatly, you know what I mean, because good practice. So I'm going to start off, put the needle down in there, and then I'm going to go forward a little bit. Oh, sewing machine's off. That might help. All right, I'm going to go forward a little bit, back stitch, forward. All right, I think I want to widen up my stitch because it's going mad slow. Widen up my stitch a little bit, all right. There you go, that's better. Back stitch, all right, cool. Yeah, we're good to go on that. All right, so now that's pretty much together right here. All right. Yeah, that's cool. I don't like that white seam right there, so I'll probably redo this. And actually, it doesn't matter because once you go like this, you won't see the white seam, so it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. It's usable. Still don't like that white. You might want to use black when you're doing this, but you know, yeah, I might change it off camera and put black bobbin thread in along with black regular thread and redo this seam right here because I got other pieces that I cut. All right, so yeah, it doesn't matter. But yeah, all right. So now let's get to the meat and potatoes and let's start stitching this together. I just want to test out a little piece that's not the actual material that we're using to see how the material moves through the actual garment. All right, so here's our garment right here. I think I'm going to start off at the bottom and work my way towards the neckline. All right, so I'm just going to put this little piece right here, and I pinned all the way to the edge. So, and I'm going to allow for, what's this, 3/8 seam allowance. Put on the 3/8 line, then drop my foot. Yeah, 3/8 right here. Drop my foot, and then I'm going to sew a little bit, and then I'm going to sew a little bit, and then I'm going to back stitch. All right, let me put my needle down in place. Might want to go forward a little bit. All right, and then now I can go back. And this is my actual garment, so I'm going to sew a little slower because I don't want to mess this up. And I want to make sure I'm maintaining good practice before I start going nuts and going all fast and stuff like that. Make sure I'm staying on this 3/8 line right here on the machine. All right. And you guys see what I'm talking about? Now I'm close on that pin, and I can just simply pull it out like that. And I like this method better. All right. Get close to the next pin, pull it out. All right. Close on the next pin, pull it out. All right. Staying on that 3/8 line. Pull the last pin out. Knock it out. Put my hand on the reverse. Nice little reverse stitch, and we're good to go. All right, let's pull that out because the fabric started going down into the feed dogs. All right, make sure that the needle is out. Then you pull it out. All right, so we're good to go. Snip that off, and this is our first little seam right here, guys. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks good. It's nice and straight, so I'm satisfied with that job that I did. This was a little bit off. I could have stretched this white fabric just a tad bit, but you know, we don't got to be super perfect because like I said, this is more forgiving than you guys think. Like, it's very forgiving, especially when you're working with a really stretchy fabric like this. It's very forgiving. And I'll show you guys what I mean. When I say forgiving, I mean like if you mess up, it's easy to hide little problems, little errors because the fabric can stretch and you can manipulate it to kind of like get even again when you get to certain areas. You want to avoid that because you don't want it to like pucker and stuff like that. See how it's like curling a little bit? Some sewers, maybe you guys can tell me how to avoid that. Maybe I can make my stitch a little bit wider. But for right now, it is what it is. I'm going to keep this stitch the way it is because I want this to be solid, right? I want it to be solid. I could even put a second stitch right here if I want to, but that's kind of redundant and not necessary because like this is a solid stitch good enough that the fabric's going to stay together. And here's the outside of it. It looks good. It looks good to me. You know what I mean? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. So let me get you guys a different angle so you guys can get a different perspective when I do the other part, the other sleeve. All right, y'all, I hope this angle right here is cool for y'all. So I'm just going to position my fabric on here once again, making sure I kind of be consistent with what I'm doing. 3/8 seam allowance, line it up on that line right there, the fabric, and then I put the foot down to hold my fabric in place, right? And then I can just use my hand wheel, my turning wheel on the side of the machine, and just go in 1, 2, just to get that stitch going. And then I can press the reverse button and then start going backwards a little bit. Then I can go forwards now. All right, pull the first pin out. Always remembering to stay on that 3/8 line because this has a 3/8 seam allowance. And I'm checking the back just to make sure my fabric is right next to each other. Right, you know, even. All right. There we go. And as it's sewing, the machine, the feed dogs are pulling the fabric, and I'm not pulling the fabric at all. I'm just holding it in place, trying to keep it straight on this 3/8 line right here. All right. All right, boom. Just keep that thing going. All right, boom. Take the last pin out. And this time I'm going to try to like match it up as good as possible, just to practice my skills and to, you know, try to get things to be perfect. You know what I mean? Practice makes perfect. You want to practice the way you want your stuff to come out. All right, back stitch, we're good to go. All right. Let's pull that out. And like I said, with this fabric, it's real intricate. So it's kind of like the fabric's kind of smooth. So it kind of like gets sucked into the bottom of the feed dog. If you back stitch off, if you sew off of the thing and then try to back stitch back on, it's kind of like, you know, you don't want to do that. All right, so you want to go up to and then reverse, but not off of the fabric. And I think this one looks good too. See the inside of it right here. Looks good. Looks good. Which is this is actually the outside, the right side. All right, but we're sewing on the inside of it. All right, so we're gonna pin up the sides and then we're gonna sew the sides. So I'm gonna pin this the same way, guys. I'm just gonna butt these two edges up against each other, perfect as possible, right? And then I'm going to pin that part. I'm going to pinch it. That's my technique. That works good for me. So let me get it nice and on top of each other. Pinch it. And then go in with a pin. Then I'm going to go to the other side, all the way to the far side. And match the armpit, right, together as perfect as possible. And then pinch that side and pin that side, and then like every couple inches or so, like maybe every, I don't know, every like, maybe every like four inches or so, I'll put a pin in. Not 4 inches, but maybe a little longer than that. Maybe every 6 inches I'll put a pin in. Yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Every 4 to 6 inches. All right, pin. And then now we can go to the center. All right, now we can pin the center. All right. Pinning is the important part, guys. Preparation for everything, no matter what you're doing. Preparation is the most important part. And pinning and sewing. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm a beginner, but pinning, I'm just going to go ahead. To me, it seems like, as a beginner in sewing, it seems to me like pinning is the most important part to making sure that your garment comes out looking as good as possible, because pinning is essentially the first step to putting it together. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm not an expert. Clearly, you guys see I'm taking the classes and all that stuff, but I'm just going by, you know, what I've learned so far and what I use my common sense when it comes to stuff. So I'm just going off of what I feel and what makes sense in my head. All right, so a lot of pins in this one. Don't need this many pins. It's overkill, to be honest. But I'm just gonna pin both sides to speed up the process. So that way I could just like, boom, I'm done one side, then boom, go to the other side and sew the other side. So that's why I'm putting so many in on this side, so that it can hold together when I flip it around to the other side. All right. And I guess sometimes if you're pinning something for somebody to try on, I guess this is the way. I think you probably use safety pins so that the person don't cut themselves, because these pins are sharp, obviously. Yeah, when you use safety pins, then you can have the person try it on, because there's no sharp edges. It just loops around. So yeah, that'd probably be a dope thing to do, especially if you're making like pants and, you know, women, y'all are like hippie and stuff like that. It's cool. Safety pins is the way to go. So yeah, I like to talk things through. So I got this side done. So let me pin up the other side and we can start sewing up the sides. I got both sides pinned up, as you guys can see, pinned together. We are ready to sew both sides together, and that's pretty much the body of our shirt. And to be honest with you guys, once you got this part and this part with this material, it kind of has a rolly effect. This material right here doesn't fray, so you can kind of wear it like this, to be honest, but I'm not going to do that. I want to finish the edges and have these nice little finish, you know, nice and even like that. So we're going to go ahead and finish this shirt and have it looking pristine like it came from the department store. I hope. So let's sew this together. All right, so here we go. Got a nice over the shoulder shot for you guys, just so you guys can get perspective and a better idea of what I'm doing. So boom, I'm placing the fabric in. The 3/8 mark is right here, so the edge of the fabric is lined up against that 3/8 mark. And then I'm going to put my foot down to hold the fabric in place. And then to really hold the fabric in place, I'm going to roll the wheel forward towards me. All right, once, twice, and then now I can put my foot on the reverse pedal, do a few back stitches, nice and easy. Then I can start going forward again. Take this pin out, put my pin back in the case. All right, I really do need a whoopee cushion. I'm gonna get one. And all I'm doing is guiding the fabric, not pulling on it or anything like that. I'm just guiding it to make sure it stays on that 3/8 by like tilting it this way, but make sure that edge right there is on that 3/8 mark. All right. Easy. When I get close, take the next pin out, keep it moving. It's not that hard. You guys can make it close. And like I always say, if I can do it, you can do it. So stop playing with yourself. All right, boom. All right, all you gotta do is try. All right, so again, you take your time, make sure the fabric is underneath each other, matched up. You can slow down if you want. The pressure, how much pressure you put on that, how much pressure you put on the foot pedal determines how fast the machine goes. All right, don't go too nuts when you're new. All right, take this pin out. Just keep on going. Making sure it's underneath. Cool. See a little loop right there. Always stop just to check. It's always best practice to stop and check and make sure. All right. When you get comfortable, you're just going to go crazy with it. All right. Making sure there's no loops or anything like that. And when you start getting close to the edge, that's when you want to try to stretch the fabric to make sure it lines up right at the tip as best as possible, as best as you can. All right. All right. Take that out. 3/8 line. All right, now the fabric is kind of like doing its thing, so I'm just gonna kind of like hold it together and kind of like keep it together as best I can to where's the end of this. Keeping it on a 3/8 line still. All right, that's the best I can do. Back stitch a few, and then that's it. All right, so we did the whole side of that. You can neaten up your stitches, just trim right there because I got the back stitch to lock it in, so we're good to go on that. Trim this one right here as soon as I get the scissors underneath there. All right, and you can already see the inside right here. Boom, join seams, right? Looking good, looking good. Let's do the other side, and then we're done with the body of this. All right, so we got both sides done already. I'm just gonna flip it outside in, right side in, and I'm gonna try it on so we can see where we're at so far, guys. And you let me know how I'm doing so far. Just want to check the fit real fast. All right, so this is where we're at right now, guys. So far, let me know what you guys think. I love the way this material feels. It flows good. It just feels good on my body. It's the back right here. This is where we're at right here. I like the length. I added a little bit of length so it won't be short. Like the first, can you guys hear me? The mic is. I added a little bit of length so that it won't be short like the sweatshirt that I made at sewing class or whatever. It's nice and even right here on the side, ended evenly on this side. Underarms look good, right? Armpit area looks good. So let's go ahead and pin the sleeves together, sew the sleeves together, and then attach the sleeves. All right, and then we'll do the neckline last. So let's do it. All right, guys. So we got both of our sleeves put together. Here's one, and here is the other one. I pinned the insides together. I mean the outsides. The outside is together, and the inside is yeah, you guys know what I'm saying. All right, so I'm gonna start sewing this. Doesn't matter. Just put this same 3/8 seam allowance we're using, foot down, and just gonna once again put the needle down a few times, and then we're gonna go backwards a few stitches and then start going forward. Take the first pin out. All right, 3/8 line right here. Same deal. All right, so now that we got our sleeves, it's time for us to pin our sleeves to the inside, onto the garment. So sleeve number one, you're gonna start right this, right? But we're going to, how do we do this? We got to put the sleeves on the inside. So we put it in like this, inside the garment, like that, and yeah, we got to turn our sleeves inside out, guys. All right, we turn it inside out, and then we sew it like that. All right, turn inside out. This is the finished edge. So finished edge to finished edge. Put that on the inside, and this is the arm part. All right. So we're gonna line up this right here, this edge right here. We're gonna line up that edge where the sew is to this edge right here. All right. So we're lining up the seams so that they meet, and then we're gonna pin it all together. All right. So the first pin I'm gonna do, first of all, let me stuff this on the inside right here. The first pin I'm gonna do is the underarm, and that's probably when I'm gonna start sewing also. All right. So finish edge to finish edge. I'm gonna try to match it up nice and evenly. All right. So get those lines matching each other. Nice and even, just like that. Perfect, perfect. All right, grab my pen. Okay, grab a pen. Got to get the whoopee cushion, guys. And I'm going to pinch it and put it together. And that's going to be my first guide point right there. All right, so that's together. Now we're going to hold it open, kind of drop this in like that, and kind of get the top part where you want the top part to be. All right, kind of get, this is just like the rough draft, kind of, sort of. All right, boom. Once you got this part right here, the rest of it is kind of easy, because you're just making sure you got the right amount on the left side, the right amount on the right side, and when you sew it, matches up, so you're good. So I'm just gonna line this up on that edge right here, and then I'm going to pinch, and pin together, just like I've been doing. All right. Yeah, that's cool. And then repeat the process right here. So now I got this side. I'm just going to go in the middle now. Line this up. Go in the middle. All right, there's the middle right there. Then I'm going to pinch like that. And then in there. I can even put one right here if I want to. Don't need to, but let me go on the other side just to line everything, just get everything situated. And then I'll OD on my pins, because I think the more you pin, the neater your design comes, the neater your sew comes out. So I go crazy with the pins. You know, I go crazy. And I'm saying this like I do this all the time. I'm going to go crazy with the pins, because it seems to me like the more you pin, the neater your garment comes out. So I'm just going to pin all around. And look, this one didn't even go in. So, look at that. Pinched it, didn't even get through. All right, so do that over. So I'll be right back, guys. Let me finish this up. So we got the sleeve together. You guys basically know the concept of what I'm doing, so I'm not going to show this whole sleeve again and the other sleeve again. I'm just going to sew them all together at that 3/8 seam mark. And yeah, and then I'm going to show you guys the finished product. Not sure if I'm going to go ahead and get the like the seams together and like make a little cuff. The cuff is what I'm trying to say. Not sure if I'm going to make a cuff at the end of this. I'm not sure yet. I haven't made up my mind, but I mean, I'll decide after it's done and I try it on. We'll see what you know, what it looks like, and we'll see if I decide to do that. All right, so let me finish this up. All right, guys, so I did go ahead and change the thread to black, and I went ahead and sewed a new black neckband, and I had to piece two pieces together because it wasn't long enough. So I'm gonna put this on the shoulder, that on the other shoulder, but right now it's got to be like this, and I have to, this is the wrong side, and I got to put it in half, and I have to pin it to the actual garment, so it has to be folded around the whole thing like so, in half, and then I'm going to pin it to the garment. My shirt is on the right side, right? It's on the right side, so this is on the wrong side, so I'm going to fold this in half like this, right? Fold this joint in half like that, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pin it right here. Let me think this out, guys. Give me a second. Oh yeah, I'm pinning it like this. Okay, yeah, I'm pinning it like this so that when I sew it right on that edge, like 3/4, and then when I flip it this way, it'll have the neckband and it'll be blind. Yep. Okay, so that's what I'm doing exactly. All right, got it. All right, so you gotta remember this stuff sometimes. All right, so I got it. So let me start pinning. I'm gonna take this seam right here, and I'm not pressing it. Some people like to press it, but this is a stretchy band material, so it's kind of difficult to press this. So I'm just gonna start pinning it as is, but I'll make sure it's in a half perfect, and I'm gonna go ahead and match that up to this seam right here. Match that up to the seam on one side. Then I'm going to pin that. Alright. So let me pin that real fast. Grab a pin. And pin that together. In all the way. Out the other side. And then like that. Boom. And now I'm going to go. Wait, I did that wrong. Yeah, okay, give me a second, guys. Yeah. This has to go like this. gotta pin it correctly or else you screw it up. This gotta go like that. Then you pin it like this. Alright, gotta pay attention to what you're doing, because you'll screw this whole thing up. Alright. And this is actually like a knit. This is a knit and this is not a knit, so it's gonna be an interesting look. We'll see how it turns out, and I know I'll get some comments in the comment section, the peanut gallery, of what are you doing? Are you crazy? You putting a knit with a rayon fabric? But hey, you know, it is what it is. I'm doing my own thing. When you do your own thing, you know, you trial and error. You figure it out yourself. Figure out what works for you. Figure out what doesn't work for you, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Learn the hard way. Learn my way. All right. Got to play around with the stuff to see what works for me. So let me do my thing. So that seam, I'm matching that up, and I'm gonna go ahead and pin this. All right. And this time we're on the right side, guys. We're on the right side. All right. So I'm going to keep on going around. Fold this in half, perfectly half. Perfectly half. Match that up with the bottom part. Alright. You want to kind of like make sure it's even, and this is falling where you want it to fall in half. Get that middle. Alright, you might want to make sure you have a little access on both sides equally, so it's not pulling to one side more than the other. Boom. And pin that. Alright, hold on. And let me finish pinning it and I'll be right back, guys. Alright, y'all, so we all pinned up. All pinned up around all sides. So we're going to start sewing this together from shoulder to shoulder. Alright. As you guys noticed from the beginning, I had removed this part of the machine right here. That's important for you guys to know, so you don't try to sew with it. And what that enables me to do is put the neck inside, or anything with a circle, the arm, whatever, the body, you can put it like in the sewing machine like this. Alright, so boom. We're gonna stay with the we could do 3/8 inch. I don't want it to be too big, so yeah, we're gonna stick to 3/8 inch. 3/8 inch is good. We're gonna stick to what we've been doing. 3/8 inch. So keep that right there. Alright, so I'm gonna start about right here. And just make sure we hit both sides. Gotta make sure we hit both sides so we're sewing it together. And yeah. Alright. Alright, so put this down. Line it up. Put the foot down. Make sure underneath has fabric and this has fabric. So we're gonna go ahead and start sewing. Hit that back stitch at the beginning. Get the needle down first. Alright, and then back. Alright, move this. Alright, keep it going. And between the stitches, when you move the needle, is where you want to kind of like stretch the fabric, because like, you know, you're going around the neck, so it's kind of like you want it to be, you want to make sure that the fabric is catching both sides, kind of, sort of, if that makes sense. If you're sewing it in place and you're stretching so that the fabric is even all the way around. All right, so let's keep it going. Just looking carefully to make sure it's fabric underneath as well as up top. All right. And if you guys notice, it's a lot of stitches because I want to make sure my garment stays together. I don't know if that is a thing or not. Like, I don't know if I'm doing that right or not, but that's just, I chose to make my zigzag stitch kind of tight. So I'll find out later on if that was a good idea or not. All right, I want you guys to look at my neckline. It's a little bit of puckering right here. A little bit of, see how that fabric got twisted up? But that's because I'm really new to sewing and I don't have no business playing with this silky fabric like this. But I like the print, so I wanted to play with it. But I think overall, I think I did a pretty good job. It looks even all the way around. Like the width, the thickness right here and the thickness right here. It's got the stretch to it, right? The back looks good, right? All right, so we're good. Let me put it on real fast. This is definitely gonna get worn though. And I did not finish the sleeves, and I did not finish underneath here. I'm definitely gonna do underneath here. Don't know if I'm gonna probably do something like that. And definitely gonna have to pin a lot for this to get a nice finish. And I'll probably pin it like this and then sew underneath like nice. Oh no, what I'm gonna do is I'll do like a fold, 1/4 inch, quarter inch, and then another 1/4 inch right here, and then we'll sew right there, and it'll be like nice one stitch right there. But then you gotta sew real nice and slow and real steady and real, like, you know what I mean? So we'll do that, right? So well, I'll do that off camera and I'll show you guys the results in another video. But let's just try this on and let's see what we got. I mean, we put this thing together pretty good. I think this is a nice looking shirt right here. All right, let's put it on. All right, comment section. It's time to get busy. Yay and nay. I know what I think. I know what I think. All right. Let me pull it down even so y'all can see my how even it is. The arms. Guys, see the arms? They both end at the same point, like right above the elbow. I think this part is even. It stops right like by my pocket. Not one side is not up and down. You know what I mean? I guess. I don't know. I haven't looked. But it looks pretty even all the way around to me. Right? And style it like that. You know what I mean? And the best part about it is nobody has this shirt. Nobody has a shirt. Neckline, you know, we got a little thing right here. But like when you have it on, nobody's going to look at that. Right? So guys, I didn't finish the seams because I like the way with this material. I like the way it has like the roll-up effect. I kind of want to, I might want to leave this right here. I might finish this, the bottom, but to be honest, only reason why I would finish it is because like right here, this part right here has a little flip right here, and you can see like the sewing, this part where I sewed it together. But other than that, like there's no need to finish it. I mean, it looks good just like this. What do you guys think? All right, comment section, it's your turn. Let me know how I did. My actually this is my second, because you guys remember when I did it with my SC600 when I tried to like just get a pattern offline and I tried to sew it, and I'll put the video up here so you guys can check it out. But this is like night and day from when I did that one, and yeah, I'll definitely be wearing this. Don't be surprised if you see A-Dubb Productions or A-Dubb Productions right here, because this is 100%. I mean, I think it's 90-20 or 90-10. I forgot, but this is rayon right here. It stretches, as you guys can see, but you can sublimate onto rayon. As a matter of fact, before I started, I did a test and I sublimated onto this, and I'll show you guys that clip right here of the heat press, my Wallet Press Pro from Heat Transfer Warehouse. Shouts out to Heat Transfer Warehouse. Guys, if you're in the market for a sewing machine, this is good, right? My Janome HD5000, I think it's good for home and it's good to practice on. But I really think that now, because I want to sew more stuff, I want to do other things, so I think I'm going to get a sewing machine from Ricoma. So if you're in the market for a sewing machine, practice on your brother SE600 first, and then my advice to you would be to use my Ricoma link and grab one of those heavy duty sewing machines. It's heavier duty than this, but it comes with a whole table. So I'm gonna get one of those, guys, and I'm gonna get busy. And my main objective is to play around and just make things that I want to make when I get an idea. And if I know how to make that, like now I got the shirts down. I'm good with shirts. I'm good with shirts. And if I'm good with short sleeve, I'm good with long sleeve. You know what I mean? So I'm good with shirts. T-shirts, I can make a t-shirt, obviously. You guys see that. And I want to learn how to make pants and jackets, and that's it. Bucket hats, and that's that. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. This video has been really, really long. Thank you so much if you made it to the end. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram, follow me on TikTok, and let me know what you guys think about the shirt. Don't forget to visit the merch store, AlanAwade.com. Buy yourself some channel merch, help support the channel, and visit adubbproductions.com if you want to schedule a one-on-one consultation with your boy, with me, right? So this shirt obviously is not on the merch store, but I don't know, we don't know what might happen in the future. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I think it's cool, man. I think it's cool. All right, I'm out. Peace.
Turn up that, crank it up. Why listen to the rest when you're rocking with the best, baby?